Isn't it puzzling to consider the fact that a good number of us do not have a good strategy for managing our well earned money? Picture yourself attempting to navigate an unfamiliar city without a map. That's what living without a budget is like. It leaves you in the dark about the movement of your money and the ways it can serve you better. Now, let's get a little more precise. Do you find yourself relying on a single stream of income and yearning to make every dollar go the extra mile? If you're nodding in agreement, then you've arrived at just the right spot. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to break down 8 fundamental tips for budgeting and saving that are geared towards anyone relying on a single source of income. They are tried and tested strategies that will enable you to take control, spend smarter, and save better. If these sound like goals you want to achieve, then stick around. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you want more valuable content that can change the way you handle your finances. Now, are you ready? Let's dive in. 1. Understand your income and expenses. Only few people seem to know this, but before you can take control of your money, you need to understand your income and expenses fully. Your income is a view of your financial inflow. For a person living on a single source of income, this could simply be your salary. But you might also receive occasional bonuses, refunds, or even gifts. These should also factor into your understanding of your total income. Next, let's talk about expenses. Expenses fall into two main categories: fixed and variable. Fixed expenses are those that don't change from month to month. This includes your rent or mortgage, car payments, and any insurance premiums. Variable expenses, on the other hand, are costs that can fluctuate each month. This could be your grocery bill, utility bills, dining out, or even personal care items. Understanding your income and expenses is the first step towards a healthier financial situation. But it's not enough to just know them. You have to track them. Yes, it means keeping an eye on all of your transactions, big or small. As tedious as it may sound, tracking every single dollar you earn and spend is the cornerstone of effective budgeting. It's how you assign a purpose to every dollar, ensuring it contributes towards your financial dreams rather than taking away from them. Consider this: inflation, which is the rising cost of goods and services over time, can further complicate your financial situation. If you're not tracking your expenses diligently, inflation can eat away at your purchasing power, causing you to overspend without even realizing it. 2. Adopt the 50-30-20 rule. This rule is an effective strategy for those learning to budget, particularly if you're managing your finances on a single source of income. First, let's break down what these categories mean. The needs category, which should amount to no more than 50% of your income, include expenses that are essential for survival. These includes things like rent, groceries, healthcare, and basic utilities. Wants are the non-essential expenses or your lifestyle choices, such as eating out, subscriptions, shopping, etc. According to the rule, these should only take up 30% of your income. Keeping your wants to a third of your income can significantly help you avoid falling into the dreaded debt trap. Finally, the last 20% should go towards your savings or repaying any outstanding debts. This category is the cornerstone of your financial security. It ensures you are gradually building a nest egg for the future or reducing any burdensome debt. The beauty of the 50-30-20 rule is its simplicity. By breaking down your income into three categories, it gives you a clear framework for managing your money. It forces you to prioritize needs over wants and to ensure savings are a part of your monthly financial habits. Remember, everyone's financial situation is unique, and this rule is a guide, not a law. Depending on your specific circumstances, you may need to tweak the percentages to better fit your financial goals. For example, if you're heavily in debt, you might want to allocate a higher percentage towards repayment until the debt is under control. The 50-30-20 rule provides a solid starting point for budgeting and encourages you to think critically about your spending habits. Also, we've got a separate video explaining the 50-30-20 rule in great detail, where we dive deep into the needs, wants, and savings. Check it out. The link is in the description box below. 3. Implement a spending diet. Do you know that little expenses can accumulate quickly and sabotage your financial plans? So how can you ensure you're not leaking money? One practical solution is to go on a spending diet. Think of a spending diet in the same way you would a food diet. When you want to lose weight, you might cut back on high-calorie foods and increase your intake of healthier options, right? Similarly, a spending diet involves reducing non-essential spending and focusing on financial health. But how do you do this? First, you need to identify and categorize your spending. Monitor your purchases for a month and list down all of your expenses. You might be surprised to find how much you spend on takeaway coffee, subscriptions, and impromptu online shopping. These are the areas where you can often cut back without significantly impacting your quality of life. One popular method of implementing a spending diet is to refrain from online purchases for a set period, say a month. Removing saved credit card information from your favorite online stores can also discourage impulsive buying. Remember that while spending diets are meant to cut back on unnecessary expenses, they should also be realistic and sustainable. Too drastic a change might leave you feeling deprived, which could lead to a spending binge in the end. Find a balance between saving money and maintaining a quality of life you're comfortable with. Sometimes it's not just about cutting back, but getting more value for your money. Coupons, cashback apps, and shopping around for the best deals can also help you save money on purchases. Implementing these strategies will help you save money and improve your financial situation. Through a spending diet, you will not only save money, but also develop a deeper understanding and control over spending habits. This will help you in the long run as you cultivate healthier financial habits that will stick with you even after the spending diet ends. 4. Reduce unnecessary expenses. Dave Ramsey once said, "A budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went." And a significant part of taking control of your finances involves reducing unnecessary expenses. It's time to inspect your spending and identify areas where you could be saving more. To start, let's consider the concept of fixed and variable expenses. Fixed expenses are those that remain constant month to month, such as rent, insurance, and utilities. Variable expenses, on the other hand, fluctuate and include things like groceries, gas, and entertainment. The first place to look for potential savings is within your variable expenses. Take a hard look at these expenses and see where you can cut back. Maybe you've been eating out too often, or perhaps you're a little too eager with your online shopping. Next, examine your fixed expenses. While these may seem set in stone, there may still be opportunities to save. For example, if you're paying a high rent, consider downsizing or getting a roommate. If your utility bill seems high, look into ways to conserve energy at home. Another important aspect is identifying and cutting back on luxury or discretionary expenses. These are non-essential items or services that you buy for pleasure or convenience. It could be that daily latte from your favorite coffee shop, or perhaps a high-end skincare product when a drugstore brand would do the job just fine. Cutting back on these can lead to significant savings. Lastly, avoid impulse buying. Impulse buying often leads to purchasing items you don't need, so it's crucial to lessen it. One helpful strategy is to create a shopping list and stick to it. By reducing unnecessary expenses, you can save a significant amount of money that can then be channeled into savings or paying off debt. If you want to learn more about adopting minimalist habits to save money, be sure to check out the video in the description box. And remember, it's not about depriving yourself of enjoyment, but rather about making conscious, deliberate decisions about where your money goes. 5. Make use of cashback and discount offers. A fantastic way to take control and save more is by leveraging cashback and discount offers. These can be incredibly powerful tools that help you maximize your savings on everyday purchases. Cashback offers are incentives offered by credit card companies, certain debit cards, and even some mobile applications that give you back a percentage of the money you spend. Before you jump in, be aware that not all cashback offers are created equal. Some offer higher percentages on specific categories or rotate these categories quarterly. Make sure you understand the terms and conditions of these offers and choose the one that best fits your spending habits. Remember, the goal is to save on existing expenses, not to spend more just to earn cash back. Discount offers, on the other hand, are reductions on the original price of products or services. They can come in the form of coupons, sales events, promotional codes, or loyalty rewards. These can be especially beneficial for larger, one-time purchases, but they can also add up for everyday items like groceries or personal care products. Another trend going on these days that's helping consumers save money is deal websites and apps. These platforms aggregate the best deals, discounts, and cashback offers in one place, helping you find the best possible price for a product or service. There are a couple of things to keep in mind when using these offers. First, don't let discounts and cashback lure you into buying something you don't need. Second, be cautious of spending more than you would usually do just to reach a certain discount threshold. By incorporating cashback and discount offers into your budgeting strategy, you'll be able to stretch your dollar further, giving you more room to save or pay down debt. And that's what smart budgeting is all about, taking control of your money and directing it where it serves you best. 6. Assign every dollar a purpose. With a single source of income, every dollar counts, and assigning each one a purpose can make a significant difference in your financial health. Assigning every dollar a purpose, also known as zero-based budgeting, involves planning for every dollar you earn before you even receive it. This method forces you to justify each expense, making it less likely you'll spend mindlessly. Start by listing all your expenses, starting with your essentials like housing, utilities, groceries, and transportation. These are your must-haves, the things you need to survive. Once these are covered, look at your wants and savings. These include discretionary items like entertainment, dining out, and other non-essentials. Also, remember to prioritize saving, whether it's for an emergency fund, retirement, or specific financial goals. To keep track of your budget, use a budgeting app or simple spreadsheet. Tools like Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets can be extremely helpful in visualizing your income, expenses, and savings. Budgeting apps can also automate the process and give you real-time insights on your spending habits. Assigning every dollar is about knowing where your money is going and making conscious decisions about your spending. Before we move on to our next tip, if you're finding value in this video, please hit the like button. It helps us reach more people like you who want to take control of their finances. 7. Build an emergency fund. Save for a rainy day. We've all heard of this saying, but how many of us actually apply it in our lives? Having an emergency fund is like having an umbrella for that rainy day. It shields you from unexpected financial storms. When you're relying on a single source of income, building an emergency fund becomes even more crucial. Financial experts like Susie Orman and Dave Ramsey suggest keeping at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in your emergency fund. To start, assess your monthly expenses to determine how much you'd need for 3 to 6 months, then set a monthly savings goal that can help you reach that amount. This might seem like a daunting task, but remember, every bit counts. Even saving a small percentage of your income each month can accumulate to a substantial amount over time. You may wonder, why not just use credit cards or loans for emergencies? Well, relying on borrowed money means you'll pay more in the long run due to interest. Plus, it puts you in debt, creating another financial issue to manage. On the other hand, an emergency fund gives you a sense of security and allows you to handle crises without taking on debt. To grow your emergency fund, consider setting up automatic transfers to a separate savings account each month. You might even choose an account with a high yield to make your money work harder for you. Some apps round up your purchases to the nearest dollar and automatically deposit the difference into a savings account, making saving effortless. We have a detailed video on how to set up an effective emergency fund. You'll find a step-by-step guide on how to determine the right amount for you, where to keep your fund, and tips to build it faster. You can check that out. The link is in the description box below. 8. Stay committed to your budget. Crafting a brilliant budget is just the beginning. The real work lies in sticking to it consistently. You might start with good intentions, but life often has a way of throwing curveballs that can derail your budget. An unexpected invitation to a friend's destination's wedding, your car breaking down, or a sudden desire to upgrade your gadget. These are realities we all face. Staying committed to your budget, despite these challenges, is a test of financial discipline. Consistency is crucial, but it's also essential to understand that your budget is not set in stone. As your financial situations and priorities change, so should your budget. Review it regularly, adjust it as necessary, and most importantly, be patient with yourself. Financial discipline, much like any other skill, takes time to cultivate. Lastly, celebrate your victories, no matter how small. Reach the saving milestone? Congratulate yourself. Stuck to your budget for 6 consecutive months? That's a win. These victories will keep you motivated and make the process of budgeting enjoyable. So there you have it, our top 8 tips for budgeting and saving on a single source of income. Give these tips a try to improve your financial situation. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more financial tips and tricks. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.